when it comes to the most terrible crimes in history. The names of serial killers always cause horror and awe. One such criminal is Mikhail Popkov, a man who for more than 2 decades was at large and committed a number of murders related to brutal crimes. In this story, we will delve into the life story of Popkov, his motivation and the consequences of his actions, and try to understand what could have prompted him to such terrible deeds. Mikhail Popkov was born in 1964 in the city of Angarsk, Siberia. His childhood cannot be called happy. The family experienced financial difficulties, and his parents often conflicted. Mikhail grew up in difficult conditions, which undoubtedly affected his psyche. Already in his youth, the boy showed signs of aggression and dissatisfaction with life. He was not stopped by the signs of behavior that are traditionally noted in serial killers: a sense of feeling, distrust of other people, and a sense of coldness. In the 1980s, Popkov got a job in the police. At first, it seemed to him a chance to change his life, but, on the contrary, he turned into an even greater threat to society. In 1992, Popkov committed his first murder. During the investigation, he used his knowledge to avoid being hit. The desire for violence only increased, and with it the number of victims. Popkov is known for his method. He manipulated women, offering them a ride home, after which he committed brutal murders. His victims, unfortunately, were mostly women who were in a vulnerable state. After the murders, Popkov not only got rid of the bodies, but also tried to replace the traces of his crimes. It is worth noting that he tried to choose his victim with the same cold-blooded approach, avoiding women who were too young or too old, as well as those who could become witnesses. Mikhail Popkov killed between 1994 and 2010, distinguished by his particular cynicism. The style of killing varied, but the main goal remained the same: to satisfy his lust. He was a prolific murderer who evaded capture for many years. Although law enforcement agencies had doubts about his identity, this light led to the idea that the security and law enforcement systems in the region were not effective enough, and the criminal continued to commit murders with impunity. Popkov was detained in 2012 after DNA testing confirmed his involvement in a number of crimes. It was not easy to quell his aggression and desire to change his appearance. Mikhail repeatedly tried to explain his actions by accusing women of behaving wrongly, or by emphasizing provocations to the maximum extent, which only emphasized his psychopathic nature. At trial, Popkov was found guilty of 22 murders and sentenced to life in prison. During the hearing, Mikhail became particularly frank about his actions, but his confessions did not arouse any sympathy. Due to his dangerousness and particular cruelty, the case became world famous and attracted media attention. Popkov was a classic example of a serial killer with psychopathic traits. He did not feel oppression or pity for his victim. Psychological studies indicate that his actions were the result of complexes, insecurity, and a need for control. In addition, the unique combination of cruelty and surgically precise planning testified to an enormous inner hatred. Popkov's murders woke society up to an unpleasant reality, but the cruelty he preferred haunted associations with real violence and danger. However, this story also emphasizes the importance of reforming the law and educating society on how to prevent such crimes. The story of Mikhail Popkov is a tragic example of how one person can destroy many lives, and how important it is to be aware of crimes in society. Despite the fact that he was detained, it is important to understand that such cases can still happen, and the safety of each of us should be optimal. There is certainly hope for an improvement in the situation around us, but there are questions that will need to be answered. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to our channel to learn more about the terrible stories that have happened in different parts of the world. Like, comment, and share your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next videos.